to the FNO show where Agam and me will take you through all the action in the derivative markets. Well, the markets saw a good opening. We made a new record high of 22,592, but very clearly Agam selling came in and we're off the day's high point, but still holding that and more with our guests Ajit and Nilesh both join in for FNO strategies of the day. Ajit, opening was more or less in line with expectation. A new record high was met, but of course very quickly we came down close to 22,400 now. What is intraday looking like, and in terms of an FNO strategy on the index, how would you place your bets? Would you go long at these levels?
Yeah, good morning, Samina, and it's almost the fourth day that we are seeing this trend continuing, that index, whether it opens gap up or gap down, we are somehow hovering in this band 22,300, 22,500, 550. And today also, after the gap up start, we couldn't hold the gains, and again we are seeing profit taking at the high levels. So I believe that yes, it's likely to remain so in today's session, also considering the kind of OI that we have in both the Nifty and the banking index. Around 22,500 is the major hurdle for the day, and 22,300 is still holding strong. But since the good part is that off late in the last two trading sessions, we have seen a very sharp cuts in the US market, and still we are holding strong. Means we are not seeing any major cuts in our markets. We are still holding around the record high. So that shows kind of a resilience in our market, and plus the broader indices, mid cap and small cap, they have also rebounded very strongly. Mid cap index will almost reach clear to the record high. So this gives us comfort that there is a possibility that Nifty is likely to make an attempt and cross this hurdle of 22,500 shortly. But in between, let's say for a day or two, one should wait, means around the lower band, around 22,300, one should look for buying opportunity with 22,200 as stop, with 500, 550 being the target area until we decisively close above the same. Same hold true for banking index also. In fact, it's an attempt of a triangle pattern breakout in the daily chart in banking index today. We are seeing profiting at higher levels because barring HDFC, all the other banking majors like Axis, ICICI, they all are really under pressure. So we feel once we cross 48,000 mark, then the momentum would reclaim in banking index as well, and that would help the index to inch toward 22,800 and 22,850 in the near future. So our view is bullish, and but yes, one needs to be selective, and until we see a decisive break, one should play the range.
That's the view coming in from Ajit on how to.
What about you? What are your top stock trade recommendations this morning?
Yeah, so first, Samina, we have Birlasoft. We are seeing the IT pack witnessing sign of reversal, and yesterday we had a day wherein all the IT majors and select mid-cap names also did well. So Birlasoft is the first name. The stock, after retracing towards the major averages, has formed a base and is gradually inching up for almost a week now. And we believe that this recovery is likely to strengthen further. And 805 is what we are eyeing in the near future. So one can buy at the current level with 758 as the stop. Another name from the PSU basket, PSU banking basket, we had a fresh breakout in PNB. Almost a month-long consolidation has ended. The stock has reclaimed the 52-week high as well with strong volume. So we expect this momentum to extend further. And 142 is something that one can maintain as a target. So with stop at 132.5, one can go long in PNB as well.
Okay. Well, in that case, maybe we can track a handful of names which are once again making our list. And well, one of them is ABB. If we can pull up the chart out there, today it's advancing by another 1%. We haven't seen too much traction in its futures today, but ABB is looking at a new high, and it has, of course, gone from strength to strength and moved from levels of around, well, I would say, since its earnings in the third quarter, where it was announced back in February, a little late February, it has moved substantially from the mark of 5,000 all the way to well over 6,500 rupees per share, nearly 6,600 rupees per share. The question is there more steam left for this stock to go up? Ajit, your assessment on ABB, what would you do with this?
So Agam, in a market like this, wherein we are seeing the index is consolidating, definitely one should prefer stocks which are showing resilience and outperforming the market. And the ABB is one such name which have hardly seen any correction in the recent dip, and in fact it's making higher highs with every passing day. And today also we have made a new record high after 3 days of consolidation. So yes, the risk reward is favorable if we are planning any fresh trade. And as per the current chart pattern, 64.90 should be a stop, which is 100 points down from the current level. And as per the recent consolidation range, it could be closer to around 67.50, 6800. That should be a positional target.
Right, that's the call coming on ABP. Not sure that this is a stock that we want to talk about if we've already not talked about it. Have we talked about HDFC at all? Ajit, your view on HDFC Bank after many, many days, we're seeing a little bit of a push on the stock, 2.5% on HDFC. To months and months of underperformance, is there a trading opportunity here? You feel like there could be a little bit more upside?
Samina, HDFC, we have almost retesting the record, this long-term averages after underperforming for months. At the same time, we are seeing the private banking measures like Axis and ICICI witnessing profit taking. So it's going to be very crucial to see whether we manage to cross this hurdle of 15, 20, 15, 30 of the long-term averages or not. So fresh buying, I would recommend to avoid if you are planning any fresh trade. And for the existing position also, 14.95 spot should be the stop. In case if it again swift below the same, then one should exit, because for a time being now, it might again take a breather and consolidate before making any further progress. So for short term, at least it's an avoid.
I'm going to take up ITC, pardon me, I'm going to take TCS and Infosys with Nilesh at the moment. But before I go to Nilesh on both these counters, I want to take a look at what's really happening in the last 7 odd sessions, in maybe in the last 1 month, and how we are setting ourselves up, because of course these two will come up with earnings come through over the course of the next few days. So as far as Infosys is concerned, that's down around 10% in the last 1 month. Let's pull up the TCS chart as well, the 1 month chart.
That are doing really well today. One is Zomato and the other one is Avenue Supermart. Do you have a strategy on either of these counters?
So Zomato, Samina, it's consolidating its position around record highs, and yes, it's holding strong amid the volatility in the last 5-6 sessions, and today it's up around 3%. So it's kind of like a base again we are forming for the next level of the up move. And if somebody is planning any fresh trade, they should accumulate the stock, not to buy at the current level. So in the range of, let's say, 178 to 185 should be the buying range. They'll stop at 175, and the upside should be around 200 to 110. And for DMart, I feel it's time now to book some profit, because the stock has reached closer to the previous swing high around 4,500 levels. And the recent rise was almost vertical from 3,800 to 4,700 mark. So it's time to book some profit and let the stock stabilize above 4,600, 4,650 zone for the next leg of the up move.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, we are out of time on the show. So taking a moment to thank Ajit and Nilesh for joining us and taking us through their views on the markets, of course, discussing a whole long list of stocks as well with us. And it's a wrap. But before we do...
Presented